You're listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast. Hi there everyone, welcome to the show. I hope you're well and that you've been enjoying the football this week. My name is Damon and I'm one half of the Learn English Through Football team, and I'm based here in Tokyo, which is cold but getting milder. I hope the rain has stopped in the UK where Damien, the other half of the team, is based. How are you, Damien? And are you dry?
Hi there, Damon, and hello, listeners. Well, yes, it has been a little drier here this week until it started raining heavily again here in London again today.
Really? Sorry to hear that. It sounds like you need a bit of dry Tokyo weather. Anyway, Damien, what's on the show today?
Well, on today's show, we will talk about some of the football language and phrases connected with the Champions League playoffs, both men's and women's. After that, we will look at a couple of predictions from some of the big games this weekend, including the North London derby between my team Tottenham and league leaders Arsenal. And the other match is a massive one for European minnows, Bodo Glimt, who travelled to the San Siro to take on Inter Milan in the second leg of their Champions League playoff.
Та хөл өмгөөр дамжуулан англи хэл сурах подкастыг сонсож байна.
Thank you for that message, which was in Mongolian. And yes, you are listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast, or as we used to be known, languagecaster.com. We will have more of these throughout this show, so try and see how many you recognize. And most importantly, send us your message in your language saying you are listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast. Record it and send it to contact@learnenglishthroughfootball.com. Okay, here's the next stinger.
พวกท่านกำลังรับฟัง languagecaster.com
Any ideas what that language was, listener? Good luck with the other voices and languages on the show. And talking about the show, it's time for our main focus, which is football phrases and language connected with the recent Champions League playoffs. And here's Damon.
Yes, the Women's Champions League playoffs ended this week, and we now know who will be playing who in the quarterfinals. Let's take a little look at some of the football language connected with these games. To thump. The first one is the verb to thump. The original meaning of this is to punch or to hit. But in the football context, if a team thumps another team, it means they beat them easily. And this was the case in a few of the matches in the playoffs. Manchester United thumped Atletico Madrid 5-0 over two legs, and Arsenal thumped OH Leuven first 4-0 away before easing past the Belgian side 3-1 at home in the second leg. To ease past is to win without having to play at 100%. The BBC used the adjective form of this phrase when describing Manchester United's win over Atletico. The match report said, Manchester United took a big step towards the Champions League quarterfinals with a thumping 3-0 victory over Atletico Madrid. So, Team A thumps Team B. They easily beat them. And you can also say a thumping victory, or at the score, a thumping 4-0 win. Okay, the next language focus is the phrase an all-English affair or an all-La Liga affair. Notice that we add a country or a competition to an all-something affair. An all-English affair means a tie between two English teams. Arsenal's thumping win means they will face Chelsea in the quarterfinals, an all-English affair or an all-Premier League affair. Real Madrid overcame Paris FC 5-2 over the two legs, and they were drawn against Barcelona in the quarterfinals. This means that game is, an all-Spanish affair or an all-La Liga affair.
Rydych chi'n gwrando i languagecaster.com.
Okay, so Manchester United thumped Atletico Madrid to set up a quarter-final clash with Bayern Munich. We've mentioned two other quarter-finals. We'll see an all-English affair with Chelsea taking on Arsenal and an all-La Liga affair with a Clásico between Barcelona and Real Madrid. What about the final quarter-final? VfL Wolfsburg secured their spot in the quarters with a win over Juventus. It was 2-2 in the first leg, but an early goal had Wolfsburg up 3-2 and a stoppage-time goal which went in off the woodwork secured the German side's passage to the next round. In off the woodwork means the ball hit the post or the crossbar and went in the goal. Here's the BBC's description. Despite Juventus dominating the second half, the visitors sealed victory with a second goal in the 6th minute of stoppage time as Kora Zikai's 20-yard shot went in off the bar. The bar in this report is a short form for crossbar. In off the woodwork is different to phrases like rattled the woodwork, which simply means hit the woodwork. The shot did not result in a goal. The crucial word in our phrase is in off the bar, the post, the upright, the crossbar. Which quarter-final looks the most interesting for you, Damien?
I suppose the all-English affair between Arsenal and Chelsea stands out, though as a Spurs fan, I wonder, can both teams lose?
Indeed.
Hi, my name's Theo. I'm a Liverpool fan, and you are listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast.
Thanks for that look at some of the football language connected with the Women's Champions League matches. And I just want to highlight a couple of phrases that emerge from the Men's Champions League playoff game between Portuguese side Benfica and Spanish side Real Madrid. You might have heard the terrible news from that game when Brazilian player Vinicius Jr. was allegedly racially abused by an opposition player. Well, we are going to look at two phrases from that rather ugly story. Racism protocol. This is a new way of trying to tackle racism in football and was set up by FIFA a couple of years ago. The protocol or rule can be used by a player or manager to signal to the referee that racial abuse has been used on the pitch or by supporters in the stands, and the referee can then stop the game to investigate. There is a 3-step process. Number 1, stop the game. Number 2, suspend the match, which means that the players will return to the dressing room for a time until the racist abuse has hopefully stopped. Number 3 is abandoning the game. So this means that the game will not take place and will have to take place on another day. The player or referee can cross their arms to signal that the game will stop. And this is what happened in the game between Benfica and Real Madrid when Vini Jr. complained to the referee that he had been racially insulted by an opposition player. The referee stopped the game for around 10 minutes before the teams finally finished the game. So just the first step in the protocol on this occasion. Now, another phrase that has been in the media quite a lot this week is zero tolerance. This means that any kind of rule breaking or infringement will be punished. There is no leniency or tolerance, as everyone who commits the offence will be disciplined. FIFA has insisted that there should be zero tolerance around racism in the game, which should mean that all racist behaviour on the pitch or by fans in the stand should always be punished. However, this is not always the case, and it seems that FIFA are not really putting these words into actions as racism continues in the game. Surely there have to be tougher punishments for clubs, fans, and players who racially abuse others. Really sad and quite shocking week for football.
Nama saya Nara, dan sekarang kau sedang mendengarkan languagecaster.com.
Listener, maybe you know some interesting football phrases in other languages. If you do, then drop us a line at contact@learnenglishthroughfootball.com and let us know. It's always cool to hear how fans talk about football in different languages.
And now it's time for our predictions this week. We will first look at the North London Derby and then also try and predict the second leg of the Champions League tie between last season's beaten finalists Inter and Norwegian side Bodo. Damon, what do you think about the North London Derby?
This is a big game for all sorts of reasons. The main one being that this is the North London Derby, which I think is one of the biggest in English football. It's also a big game for Arsenal, who have drawn 2 on the bounce, which means their title challenge is faltering a little. They are looking vulnerable. Tottenham, on the other hand, will be hoping for some new manager bounce, with Igor Tudor taking the reins. The fans will also hope that Dr. Tottenham stays in the dressing room. On paper, Arsenal should win. Spurs have lots of injuries. Their captain is suspended. The team is being dragged into a relegation battle. However, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw, a crazy game with lots of passion. Damien?
Oh, I think I would take a draw now, but we just don't have enough fit players. I think we won't win this one. Maybe a 2-1 defeat, but who knows? Form might go out the window in the derby. And next we have the Champions League second leg playoff men's version between Inter and Bodo Glimt. Damon, how do you think this one will go?
Well, Bodo Glimt have a 3-1 lead from the first leg, and the question is, can they stop Inter scoring 3 goals? I think they will struggle to do that playing away at Inter. 2-0 to Inter and a winner in extra time for the Italian side.
Yeah, I think Inter will win this one and go through to the last 16. They are running away with the Italian title, so can put everything into this game. It might go to extra time, but Inter will win 3-0.
मेरा नाम उमर है और आप लैंग्वेज कैस्टर को सुन रहे हैं.
Before we go, remember to come along to our website and check out our huge glossary of football terms, with hundreds of football phrases and cliches about the beautiful game of football. You can also check out our new page with our weekly football expressions from the past 20 years. Yes, 20 years. Let us know what you think. And of course, tell all your friends about us and give us a like on your favourite podcast and social media platforms.
Esteu escoltant languagecaster.com.
Yes, that message was in Catalan, and we also heard messages in Mongolian at the start, followed by Lao, Welsh, a Liverpool fan, Indonesian, and Urdu. Remember to send us your message too, so we can feature your language. Okay, let's wrap up today's show with a quick review of some of the football language we looked at. There was to thump, which means to win convincingly. An all-England affair, a match between 2 English teams. In off the woodwork, a goal after hitting the post or crossbar. And we also talked about the racism protocol. Thank you as always for listening. Enjoy all the football this weekend, and we'll be back with another football expression next week. Ta-ra!
Bye bye.